Hello. How are we doing, guys? Pretty cool music, isn't it? Brilliant. Okay, guys, we're just gonna turn it down there because that's our intro for today. That was one of Moog Lee's actual songs. It's one of his latest songs, and it's on his channel. Make sure that you sub. The link to his channel is in the description. We will post it out in the channel at some point as well. You know me, trying to do a million things at once, though, doesn't work very well. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully everything is going all right. It says I'm peaking on my mic, so I might be a bit too loud. Please tell me if I am compared to everybody else. I'm just going to turn myself down a tiny bit. But welcome to SorcJuice. Not SorcJuice. Now, I think most people have heard about Skull Kid. He's taken a week off. That's all we know at this point. He said what he said. He had a falling out. Not really with me. I was asleep during the whole thing. Don't really know what's happening. He's having a break. A well-deserved one. Audio is a bit loud but clear. So, hopefully he'll be back. Fingers crossed. I mean, we're going to keep on going. I want to do new things this year, and I have big plans for both channels. We're going in a different direction. We're trying new things. I know that for most people, they're going to move on, and that's fine, because it's about what I want to do. And I know that there's people in this community that are really appreciating the changes, so that's good. That's good. Anyway, I've rambled for too long. I'm not really going to talk about current drama or anything because there's nothing really to talk about. I think it was just blowing out of proportion and whatever. People made it what it was and then ended up calling himself a woman. So, that's all we need to say on that. Other than that, I think it should be all done. So, it should be all done. Alright, let's cancel. And let's get in our co-hosts and guests for today. Hello, co-host and guest. How you doing?
Hey. How you doing?
We are doing
all right. How you
doing,
guys?
Yeah, we're doing fine. We are doing fine.
Good.
Yeah. So, pretty cool. So, Moog, is it Moog? Morg? What are we doing? What are we calling?
I always say Moog Lee.
Moog Lee. That's how
it's similar to my last name, and I had a couple of Moog synths. Moog. I always called him Moog. Always.
Yeah.
When I was in college, so people started calling me Moog Lee, and it just kind of stuck.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's some lore already.
Yep.
So how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good.
That's
Doing
good.
real good.
Sorry for the late. I know the streams are late and comfy, but that's just the way it is.
You know, honestly, this is not a big deal. I'm usually up this late reading anyways. So like
I'm usually waking up at this time for work, but I said fuck it. I'm off technically today, so I wanted to help out, stop by, and meet Mr. Moog Lee here.
That's it. That is it.
right.
Okay. Well, so let's just get into it. Let's get right into it. This song of yours that we just listened to, Into the Void, is that so that was one of your latest songs that you've just released?
Yeah, I think that is the latest. out
Okay.
of hundreds of tracks that I have
Like
working
200
on
something.
at this point. I have so many unfinished tracks. It's ridiculous.
I do
But
too.
that's
Yes, it is
probably
a
not
thing.
uncommon. I hear that from pretty much everybody who works on, makes
It
music
is.
or whatever,
Well,
makes videos.
yeah, most of my stuff I think is ideas. Yeah. It's like I was supposed to release a video about fake EJ and for the stream there was this guy that was in this chat as me as fake EarJuice making these other two guys absolutely spurg out for 2 hours, and I forgot to render the video and just put it out. So whoops, that's my bad. So that video is now just not there. I still have to do it. Anyway, let's talk about this song. So what do you use to make your music, or like this song in particular?
Here, let me find the actual file. I mean, I use Reason as my DAW.
Yep.
If that's one of the big questions. I've got some go-tos in Reason. I've used Reason since version 2.
Me since version 1. Me since version 1. So there you go.
Oh, I feel so emasculated now. It's terrible.
I'm better than both you guys. I just started using it 2 weeks ago. What now?
There you go. Well, most of the people that watch this stream are going to know about, are going to know a bit about Reason at least.
Yeah.
Because they watch me make songs using Reason on the show, and putting stuff together. And the way I've got it set up, I can't really put hardware in live. I have to do that off camera. So really, they just see me doing the Reason part of the song. So basically, mainly for a Reason is how you do it. Like, here's one of your streams
I
here.
have a little bit of hardware. Well, I'm honestly, you can't see my floor, but it's littered with synths right now.
Yeah.
So there's a revolving cast of stuff here at home. But it was when COVID started, as COVID started, and I'm like, well, I'm going to start live streaming like 3-4 days a week, see what happens, and just churn out songs in the process, make them on stream, and then just, upload them and stuff. And,
yeah, and you get a lot more technical than I do. I mean, your knowledge of Reason far outweighs what mine is, and I need to ask you some questions, especially about the generative music, but we'll get into that.
Absolutely.
So,
I started with hardware, and I think that's the big difference. So, people look at Reason who are, I hate to do like a total broad brush like this, but I think people who are younger, who don't have experience with hardware at all, they look at the cabling and they're just, it's a foreign thing for them. So,
yeah,
for me, it was easy. Like, yeah, this all makes sense. So,
yeah, to me it just made sense. Ever since version 1, it was just because I was used to using synthesizers and trying to plug a sampler into a synth and do all that when I was younger. It just made sense to see it all there, and you can see all the knobs and you can see all the sliders. Everything's there, and so it's easy to put it together.
Buying new gear or having the cables or all kinds of shit.
Yep.
Man, somebody says that I'm on MySpace. That's true. I do have a MySpace page.
Now, has someone got a link to that MySpace? I really want to see this MySpace so we could load up like a
music.
I want to hear like one of your original songs from like 10 years ago or something, just for comparison.
I was going to ask, when's the last time you logged into MySpace, Moog?
Oh my God, it's probably been, Jesus, I don't even know. At least 10 years. I know at some point I went in there just to see if it still existed. It looks like it kind of exists.
It's just music only now. Profiles exist,
much,
but
yeah.
I'll look it up for you.
That's cool. Yeah, it's myspace.com/Moog Lee music, all one word.
Oh, dude, if Sock, can you try and post that in the Moog Lee
Yeah.
Discord or DM it to me, and we can try and have a listen to one of Moog Lee's old songs, just so we can get a comparison to the difference in quality.
Yep, found it.
Let's do it.
Here, I've got
I'm posting it in general.
I've got a Bandcamp also.
Does that have some of your OG stuff?
Yeah, it does. If it's Jesus, it's the same kind of thing. I haven't checked into this.
Wow. So how old would these songs be that we're seeing on screen at the moment?
Probably. Oh man, probably 13, 14 years ago, something like that.
All right. Well, let's go with the most popular one. 700 Nuttin' Mang. Land in Sight. Okay, from the album Nuttin' Mang.
Flux is kind of a personal favorite of mine. Third one.
Oh,
third
which
track.
one? Which one? The third one?
track.
Okay, we'll play that. Okay,
All right.
let's do that.
See, I started with Goa Trance, and somebody, I was chatting on IRC, and somebody sent me a sound file from a group called Transwave. This is this Goa Trance duo out of France, and I was just like, I was blown the fuck away. I'd never heard anything like it. All these filter sweeps and synth burbly noises and trippy shit, and yeah, it was wonderful.
How come I can't hear it? What's
I don't
happening?
know.
The volume control's right up. It's
waiting
playing.
for
You
MySpace.
hear it from me? Play it.
It says it's waiting for MySpace to respond. I'm having trouble too.
Oh,
Waiting for i-music.com.
Oh, it might not exist anymore. It's just, it's there, but it's not really there.
here, let me throw a link into the Discord for my Bandcamp.
I posted
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Hello, duh.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that-
you. Thank you.
A
You can play that
Moog Lee
track.
there's a Moog Lee out of Berlin, Germany that does electronica also. It says.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's a little strange.
All
Clout
right.
Stealer.
Let's see if we can find it.
First.
There's Flux there, but that's a different song. No? Okay, well, which song do you want to choose out of these ones?
Well, Mirror Machine Flux is on there too. It's the black and white one.
Oh, there it is. Oh, duh.
Left side.
It's all good.
Because, well, MySpace.
God, I'm an idiot. All right, let's have a listen. Oh, okay, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Oh, you guys can't hear it?
I can hear it. I'm viewing the stream through Discord.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, follow the stream through Discord.
This technology thing, it puzzles me. What a
And then,
caveman.
if you want, you can lower the volume in between.
I can cut off playback so it doesn't send us to interface.
Is there a way we can adjust the volume?
On Bandcamp, I don't think so.
Weak.
I don't think we can adjust the volume, so let's just play a bit more and then we'll talk about it. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to post it on the stream so people can follow.
That's cool.
I like it. Sounds like something I'll be playing. Listen to while playing Matrix Online.
Oh, you would love my rocket synth. It makes such great acid sounds. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's even your old music. Wow. I think if I went to my MySpace and listened to my old music, it would just sound like ass, to be
Same
honest.
here.
It would not be good.
12.
I'll throw another link in the chat here. But so I'm good friends with the guy who runs a channel called Signals Music Studio, and he and I hooked up a laser thing. You bounce, you take a speaker and you stretch like a balloon over it, and you glue a little mirror on it, and then you shoot a laser into it.
Right.
You play the music back, so the laser essentially moves in weird wave patterns with the music, and then we filmed that and made a video out of it for that tune actually. That's the link that I just sent.
Okay,
and,
let's have a bit of a look.
It's kind of cool.
Let's have a bit of a look.
Same tune. So yeah, the laser's like jumping around. Basically, we filmed it, put a spinning galaxy in the background, and then like mirrored the laser.
I'll skip forward.
Like four, whatever, 2 dimensions, X and Y axis kind of thing. And
that's cool.
And like no frame is the same. Like anytime you stop it, it's different. It's like completely unique and kind of fascinating.
And you did that with a balloon and a laser, essentially?
Yeah, like a green laser pointer on the wall. Well, one of the coolest laser shows I ever saw was this group called Floating Points. And they're only, aside from regular like stage lighting, they did a laser show that was on like a glow in the dark backdrop. And then the laser would do shapes and stuff, but you would still see the trailers of it from the glowing things, and it was like the trippiest thing ever. And I'm like, I need to mimic that for $5.
So, have you ever been to a psytrance doof, as we call them in Australia?
No. I've been to a couple with like jungle and gabber and drum and bass.
Okay.
But no.
Yeah, in Australia and New Zealand, they're really big here. It's a hippie thing. So the hippies, you would think that they would listen to folk music. They do, but they also love psytrance. And so what they do is they get these petrol generators, go out into the middle of the forest of someone's private land, get all the permissions, and then they put on these amazing light shows with this psytrance doofs. I've DJ'd at a few little smaller ones, and I've been to some big ones, and geez, everybody is on crazy amounts of drugs. This was years ago, though, so, I'm not doing that anymore. And, yeah, it definitely, it was a great, always a great time. Except if you had a bad trip.
That was the origin of like Goa trance, was a whole bunch of hippies settled in Goa in India.
Yes.
So the local drug scene wasn't about MDMA or ecstasy or whatever. It was about acid. So people were tripping. You wanted to make trippy sounds, and there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So that's cool. That's what you got into. But now you mainly make ambient music, would you say, or chill wave?
Yeah, I'm kind of a lot of synth wave, and I have an album's worth of synth wave that I need to like do the final mix and mastering on and actually put it out. I haven't put those tracks out on my YouTube at all.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've got to do that, but I made a new music genre. It's called Gunt Wave. It was paying out this guy named Ethan Ralph, who has this big gut, and everyone calls it the Gunt. And so I started making songs about his gunt, and so there's enough songs now for an album, and I want to just sort of finish it up and move on. So I thought I
Okay,
would
but
do
you have to
something
explain
special.
one thing.
What's that?
What is a gunt?
A
Show
gunt.
'em.
A gunt is a massive, big ass belly. Here, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think I can
It's
show
like a
you.
gut and a cunt.
There is some great gifs that have come out over the last few days, and I can show you the gun in action, swinging around and everything. Let's see if I can find it.
The Bitwave gunt emoji is also a perfect description of what.
Yeah, the one that
perfect song
Gino
is.
made's perfect. Let's see if I can get it. Here we go. Okay, here's one. But that's not moving. So the one on the right is Ethan Ralph. That's his gunt. So a gunt is it's a massive gut. Massive gut. We're talking
It's like
huge.
a front butt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a fupa, but for your belly.
Yes. Here we go. Here's the GIF. There's plenty more GIFs. It's like
hypnotic.
it's a big thing that people love to.
Yeah, there's a lot of years
pick
of
on 'em.
lore behind that.
Yeah,
It's like
there's
watching
a
a lava
lot
lamp.
of lore. But the other day, he decided that instead of they evicted this person from the house, they put all their stuff out on the lawn, and instead of just collecting it, he decided to come into the house and try to fight another fat person, and it turned into a war of the guns. So. Yes, but a very despicable person, very unlikable, not a nice person at all, and that's why we make fun of him. It's not just because he's fat; it's because he deserves it. And see, this is what I love that people were saying, "Hey, look, there's videos about his fight," and then look what's suggested underneath. Daft Gun. There you go.
Wonderful. There you go.
So yeah, that's where I've
working in your favor.
Yeah, that's what I've sort of been doing. I want to sort of move away from it. I'll still do some parody music, but I'm trying to move into doing some normie stuff, sort of like what you're doing. I really love your music and stuff. Ever since I found your channel, I've just been hook, lined, and sinkered, and been watching a lot of it off stream though, because I just watch your streams after they're finished, sort of thing, and just have them on in the background at work and stuff.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Into the Void. How did you do the visuals? So how are you doing the visuals for your
Oh, this
songs
is the
at
cheapest thing
moment?
ever. I use Winamp, and I run Milk Drop on it.
There you
and then
go.
I play back my song, and I record the screen capture. That's all. It's like it's the easiest thing ever.
It sounds like the easiest thing ever. I've got to show you something. It's called Magic Visuals. It's only £30. Totally worth it. You can make some great backgrounds with it. Great
Call
backgrounds.
out to programmers out there. Someone needs to make a VST that does this kind of shit.
Well, it hooks up to, you can do it so that you can hook up and do it live as well. So you can have it playing live to the music, doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah, definitely a program that you should look into. Yeah, well, Winamp visualizers, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm just saying, like, if you want more control, if you want your logo splitting apart and kaleidoscoping and doing other weird stuff, then definitely check it out.
Well, I was seriously considering getting into modular video synthesizers too. And
what is that?
What is that?
Well, so what you can do with a modular synthesizer with audio, you can do it with video too. So instead of thinking like in terms of like pitch, timbre and volume, think of like brightness, color, and like patterns and
What
stuff.
would I look up to find it in images, just to show people?
Modular video synthesizer.
I think I saw some people, because I was looking for something, and I think this popped up the other day, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is a whole new thing. So modular video
There you go.
synthesizer.
Yeah, and it's like modular synthesis. The shit's fucking expensive, but it works pretty much the same. It just outputs a TV signal instead.
There you go.
And then you can mix cameras with it, and then like corrupt whatever's on the the camera and stuff. And it's that LZX. That's a company that makes the modules for it and such.
Yeah.
And there's a few, but there's not many. There's 3 or 4 companies I think making that stuff. Not a huge market, but we have a convention that's local that's all analog and modular synthesizers called KnobCon, and there was a couple of booths of video guys there too, and I was like, oh, this would be so cool. And my wallet was like, no.
Yeah, I'll just show you. Here, what's a good one? This one's a good one. We don't
There's
really
so many
need to listen to the
tunes.
song, but just to show what the visuals can do. So you can get the pills to spin around a kaleidoscope, and then that's magic visuals.
Holy shit!
It looks
that's
quick.
seizure-inducing. I love it.
But this is a lot of background stuff, and then I'll go into the editor and make foreground stuff as well.
Yep.
But lots of things. It's definitely worth looking into if you're looking into a cool visualizer. Here's another one with just a template that was on the forums. And I just changed the background to a beach. That's
nice.
actually now those noises are actually not beach noises. I'm just going to warn chat. But see, you can make sort of like spinning vinyl with the music coming out and stuff. Put a picture in the middle. So
And
cool
even that
program
looks
to look
good. I mean,
into.
as long as it's not a still image. My first chunk of videos that I put up when I was, when I started this whole thing, they were just still pictures. And I'm like, let's do something different.
All right, so the other thing that you do that I wanted to go through is you have a modular setup.
Yes, I do.
Hey, chat's
have a
wondering what
bunch-
program that was, Juice.
What that I made those visuals in?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Fat
called-
Andy wants to know.
It's Magic. It's Magic Visuals.
There you go.
Look, if you just go into YouTube and just type in
magicmusicvisuals.com. That looks like the thing. Yeah.
Magic Visual.
Interesting.
I spelled it wrong, but then there you go. There it is anyway. There it is there. And
Posting a link in chat for the YouTube.
yeah, so here's their channel, and they see there's the template. So they bring out new templates. You can go into their forums and add your own templates as well. So here's another one that they have that's quite nice. And then you can change it to do what you want as well. You can make it your own.
That's super cool.
And it's all to the music, and it's 2 different frequencies. So
I was
you can
just gonna
have
ask you that.
you can have it
if
to
you
a
can
certain
specify
frequency or the
see, that's-
best tone or a certain pitch, between a certain pitch. So you can have one thing doing it to the high end, and then you can have your stars or something shooting out only to the subs or something like that, you know? So, pretty cool stuff. You can do a lot of stuff with it. Here's the channel here. I will link it in
Going
chat.
to have to buy.
It's only £30,
to
£60 if you wanted the live version. But I've done live VJ sets on Bitwave, just by getting the preview window because my CPU is pretty good, and just having the preview window open and then just controlling everything off on my other monitor. So that would be the best way to do it.
Nice.
But it does come with extra features. I think it has MIDI implementation and other stuff. If you go the live route, I don't know. You would have a look into it. But you don't have to download the templates. You can make your own. I usually make my own stuff from scratch. This I'll probably download though, because that's pretty cool. And then I'll probably just make changes to it to suit what I want to do. Pretty cool stuff, yes. But let's get back to your modular stuff. So you have a modular setup. Do you want to explain to people what modular means?
So you've got a bunch of different parts for every synthesizer, right? You've got a thing that generates the sound, the oscillators. You've got a thing that shapes the sound, whatever that might be. You've got a thing that affects the other things like envelopes and LFOs. So think about each of those as a separate little box that just does that.
Yep.
And then you have to hook it all together with cables.
Yes. Now, my definition of it is it's a very expensive way to make a sound. And usually the sound will be something like...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so how much money do you reckon you put into your modular setup, sir? How much? Come on, be honest. Be honest.
At this point, it's probably about $8,000.
Look at all the patch cords. Let's see.
Now that includes I've got a Behringer Neutron and a Model D behind me, and those are kind of part of, potentially at least.
Holy fuck, dude!
But that's, I've been building it for years.
I have a Crave.
I just went out and
I have a Behringer Crave, and I use it more for the CVNs, the gates and stuff, just for my own synthesizers, because I always have CVNs and stuff. I make my own Vactrals and things like that. People are going to have no idea what we're talking about now.
Remaster Bob said it looks like the control panel for the Death Star.
Well,
I completely fucking agree.
Let's have a listen. He's been at it for an hour. Let's have a listen to the sound that he's made so far.
Okay. So we need more.
No sound. Okay.
It's just me talking.
All right,
if you go to the last 10 minutes or so, that's the full patch with all 5 elements going.
All right.
Because sometimes it does take me a while to tune each element in.
Here we go.
There's 5 separate voices going right now.
You mean like the case for it or something? For a modular or 500 series rack?
No, you had just asked me if I do DIY with racks. And I was like, you mean like the case?
Did you build the case yourself?
No, I had it made for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking about if I do go down the road, because I've been building my own synths and stuff, and I keep thinking, why put these into boxes? Maybe I should put these into racks, and then I can convert my bookshelf into a rack, and just have a little
people
rack
make
like
cases
that.
out of they make cases out of everything, suitcases, or they take an old trumpet case and gut it and turn it into a modular synth case.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
all it takes is an enclosure and some rails with screws in them and a power supply. Doesn't take much.
All right, let's have a listen. Let's have a bit of
boxes.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say, Sock? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was saying if you're boxing it, Juice, instead of taking them out, if you already have them boxed, you can stack boxes and make it look nice too. Just a suggestion.
Well, it wouldn't
Like-
look as cool as this, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get what you're
let's play the sound for 30 seconds or so, and then we'll come back.
We affirmed that at a determined time, the command module, now all alone, glowing because of air friction like a shooting star, enters into the Earth's atmosphere and flies through it at an unheard of speed, heading for an extremely narrow, circumscribed, open place in the Pacific Ocean.
So what I really like is the generative music in modular.
Yes,
So like
and that's my next cool
I have-
part I was going to get
have-
into.
I have 3 to 4 sequencers in my synth there,
Yep,
but I'm only using one of them in this patch, and there's 5 different voices.
yep.
So, most of that stuff is just, the point is not the sound design as much as it is setting up the machine to do the thing that you want. And then you can just kind of sit back and let it do its thing.
Yeah, now there's other channels as well that will set up generative music.
Yeah.
There's one I watch all the time. Starts
State
with S.
Azure?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
State Azure.
that guy's a badass.
He
Yeah.
is so cool. He will make these setups that just generate their own. So generative music means that it'll just, because it has algorithms and all sorts of stuff built in, it will make its own music for you if you set it up correctly. So you set it up to do what you want it to do, and then it'll generate its own music, and then you just go and sit back and watch it do its thing. And then for the next 4
Yeah, and
hours, it just makes this
There's enough,
music that just keeps
enough,
changing and changing and changing.
and there's enough chance and randomness in it where, if you let it go long enough, you'll hear something different, every minute.
Yeah.
It's never exactly going to be the same, and the combinations that can come from that are pretty interesting, pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's the sort of thing I just don't have time to do. When it comes to music, it's sort of like, oh, I've got to get this done, and I've got to get at work tomorrow, so I'm going to work really quickly. So me and modular, I just think are never going to mix very well.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
am interested in building the stuff, and you have built
there's a
some of
VCV
these
rack, too.
yourself.
If you wanted to go the software route and try out almost everything that exists out there in the real world, in real
Yep.
life, you can get VCV rack is totally free.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
There are hundreds and hundreds of modules that, work in it that are duplicates of real world stuff. So, if you're looking for an intro,
I know the
modular-
program. It's a free VST. What's the name of it again?
VCV rack.
VCV rack. We'll just show pictures of it. So what you can do is you can use it to learn modular, set up your own modules, and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's completely
Shit.
free.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely free VST, and it will then work with your doors as well, I think.
And it'll work with your external gear too, because you can send MIDI information to and from it.
Yes.
So you can route it through outboard gear. You can, route it into your modular to do stuff. If you've got, the module that will do that, which, there's a few that are like computer.
I had a
interfaces.
question for the VCV. I see there's virtual wires connected to everything. Do you have to manually connect it to yourself, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you
That
manually
simulates everything.
connect it. There's also,
Yeah, you throw a bunch of modules in there and you're going to get nothing. So,
Okay.
in Reason,
Figure
there's
out
one
that.
called Complex.
mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, but it has patches where it's already patched for you, or you can do it yourself. So,
Yep.
there's an instrument within Reason. I mean, really, look, it can get quite complicated when it comes to modular, And it's one of those things. Look, if you're going to go down that route, it's either if you do it just on software, it can be quite cheap. But if you do like what Moog Lee here is doing, it can get very expensive, very, very expensive, very quickly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It sounds fucking amazing. I love the sound.
All right.
Yeah,
so how
that's the
many
thing,
of
too.
these modules have you built yourself? Because you have built some of these yourself.
Only 2 of them. There's the it's called the radio music, the second row from the top, far right, that little one.
This...
No, the one right below that.
Sorry, that one.
That guy right there, which that is a wave file player.
Yep.
Or
and so that's
digital
where
file player, basically.
that radio space sort of noises was coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, so it throw an SD card on there and put a bunch of sounds in it, and then you can control like where in the sound it starts and what channel you're playing, so to speak, which file you're playing from and stuff. And
holy shit, that's awesome.
You can have that all CV controlled, and and then for me that means that you can have it randomized, which I love.
Yeah.
And then I built the oscillator, which is the second one from the left in the top row, the big white knob. And
second, this one. Okay.
Yep.
That one there.
Yeah.
And so that's just an oscillator, meaning that it just makes sound.
Yep.
What sort of chip did you use?
I don't remember. It came in a kit. It's the Bifaco Even VCO, it's called.
Now, okay, guys, if you want to go down this route, I'm going to give some big advice. If you type in DIY oscillator, I want to build my own synth, or DIY synth, it's going to come up with Look No, Mum No Computers video first. And he's going to tell you to build a reverse avalanche, or basically you reverse a transistor oscillator. Don't do that. They sound different every time you turn them on. Most of the time they won't even work. They are not good. The next one is
tried and true ones with chips that are stable as hell, and you don't
listen. And it upsets me that he made that video, because so many people have tried to make it and then been like, look, it didn't work for me. I made mine. I finally got it working. I had to buy 5 different transistors before I got it to work. And then it would just sound different every time I turned it on. It was inconsistent. Then I tried a 255 chip. And the 255 chip is pretty boring. The best one is a CT, I think it's a 6044 or something chip. It has it's able to do 6 oscillators off one chip, and they're only a few bucks each. So if you are looking into doing this stuff, don't listen to No Mum No Computer. Go to the other channels and look into it more, because I was going to bring out a video about it, about my experience of building my own synth and which one sounded the best and which one worked the best. And out of all of them, the CT chip was the easiest to wire, the easiest to configure, and the best sounding. And you can either have a triangle wave or a sawtooth wave. You choose. Yeah. With the others, you can't.
That one has sine, triangle. It's got all the 4 main ones: sine, triangle, sawtooth, and pulse. And then they have another one called their even wave, which is like just the even harmonics. It's kind of somewhere between a saw and a pulse. So it's just kind of a different tone. And it's got sync and FM and a bunch of stuff like that in it too. So
all right,
now it's a nifty little kit.
A lot of people probably have no idea what we were talking about. So let's get back.
I'm asking for specifics.
So let's get back into your music production. What's this? Starting from scratch, ambient down to tempo. Is there some video that you would want to play, or another song maybe that we could go through and talk about?
As a thought,
You
is
can
a
check
good
out
song.
like SR1. That's a synthwave tune.
It'll be in the
Um,
synthwave playlist.
No, under Moog Lee songs.
All right, let's do that.
But
Let's do
Down
that.
to the left.
my favorite is
There's
As
a
a Thought.
playlist.
SR1.
Yeah, if you go down to the Moog Lee songs there.
Okay, let's have a bit of a listen, guys, and then come back to it.
These I just try to do a little bit more poppy. Have an actual melody that comes back. Has an actual more of a pop form to it. Yeah, so
All right, I'll let it play for about a minute, and then we'll talk about it, so we can have it on full volume. How about that?
Hell yeah.
right on.
All right, let's do that. Yeah, that's so cool.
I love it.
Little D50 action in there.
All right, I'll turn it right down, so now we can talk over the top. So made with reason, or made with reason with some hardware and stuff?
Some hardware. Yeah, I have a D05, the boutique version of the D50, because when I was a kid, I lusted after the D50 and I could never have one. And so yeah, as soon as they came out with that, I'm like, I'm buying myself a D50 for $400 or three. I think it was $300 when they first came out.
All right,
And,
so D50, what brand is it?
the Roland's D05 is the.
I got a question. When did you, in your opinion, when do you think your music, like how long did it take you within making music to start making stuff you think would be generally your best, not best work, but when it actually got presentable to everybody? Like how long in your
that's a
career
good question.
or
I
hobby?
think every musician that I've known that I respect has this tenuous balance between just horrible self-criticism and like ego. So it's like you make something and you're like, well, that's kind of cool, and then you listen to it again and you're like, well, that's complete shit. So like honestly, the stuff that I've done this year has every tune that I do, I think gets a little bit better in some way, and it takes me longer to do it. Like when I first started this whole thing about a year ago, I was churning out a tune in like a night,
Yeah,
like start to
wow.
finish.
Yeah, fuck,
And
that's grinding.
now, like Into the Void is like 9.5 minutes long, which I didn't even realize it until I was making the video, and I was like, Jesus, this is going along a long time. What the hell? And
Just get lost in the wave.
yeah,
The
and
void.
lost in like
Lost in the
the
void.
sound design and like really getting in there, nitpicking, and like this is my vision, what I had in my head. So let's make it exactly like that instead of taking shortcuts. And so yeah, I don't know. Others might think that my old stuff is totally fine. I think it's pretty dated sounding.
I think you said something that actually is really good. When, as an artist, when you think you're making a little bit progress, like every year or every so whatever amount of time, if you as an artist think that your work is getting better, that's a good sign that you're actually doing well with music, in my opinion. If you don't have
Yeah.
that insane ego.
Yeah, and I don't think it's about what people like. Like I think nowadays, like like EarJuice, you're in Australia. Like I would have never thought that some random dude literally on the other side of the globe would be like, "Hey, I like your stuff." Like,
Yeah.
it kind of boggles the mind. But the fact is that like, there's 7+ billion people out there, so the chances of like whatever you make, somebody will find it and love it, are pretty much 100%.
I have noticed
So-
anybody that makes electronic music or any like ambience music or any kind of wave music has more of a following outside of their own country.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'd say psytrance stuff is kind of like that. It's kind of scattered all around.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
Like
scattered.
the stuff that I really like, the really trippy shit, like Spangle. Those guys a lot of them are English.
Mhm.
And I think their fans are pretty worldwide. Yeah, and I think if an artist isn't his worst critic, then he's probably a shit artist.
I was getting to that.
I just a guess. Yeah, like if you don't look at yourself and be like, "What the hell am I doing?" Then, maybe you need to. I don't know. It's a total generalization, but
I agree with you though.
Well, most people, like most songs that I've made, most people haven't heard because I won't put them out because they're not good
Yeah.
enough. They're not
which
to
is why
my
we
standard.
have hundreds of unfinished tracks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My whole desktop is littered with that, like with files I'm never going to publish or never going to finish because I hate like a lot of stuff I do. So I feel you. That's why I asked. I was looking at my desktop and I was like, huh.
Now, you also own a Hydra synth, is this true?
Yes.
Do you
I
own
bought
the
myself one for
desktop?
Christmas?
You own the desktop version or the full
Yes,
version?
because I can't have a CS80, so I want a ribbon controller. And yeah.
Alright, so the desktop version. This is now I got the Korg Wave State, but if I could get any other synth, this would be the one that I would get. All right.
It's very, when I first played it at a convention in 2019, I think, I was unimpressed and everybody was raving about it. And I played it for about 30 minutes at their booth. They had a booth set up with a bunch of them there, and I was just kind of like, it's a digital synth. But yeah, I was watching a few demos, that Lou Pop review up there, where he talks about
Yeah,
it and stuff.
yeah.
This shit-
He
this shit's
shows
great.
both versions. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the more I got into it, the more I was like, I sold off a couple of other synths. I had a Roland SH201 and a Studio Logic Sledge, the bright yellow one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I sold both of those off. And I'm like, hell, I'm going to take the money and just turn it over into something nice and shiny and new. And yeah, so.
All right. Well, this is a
It's right
sound
next to me.
demo of what the sound of a Hydra synth sounds like.
I've got a video on my page too with just some presets that I play through.
Oh, do you? Oh, that would be perfect. Let's try that then, rather than showing someone else playing it. Because I've got like me just going through and playing around with my Korg when I first got it as well. I think it was on my old channel though that got yeeted because it was too edgy.
I got the video link I'm going to post in general from his channel.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. God, you're a good guy,
13
host.
I'm on the ball with it.
Now, with my Korg Wave State, I've even gone out and bought other people's patches as well as trying to make my own patches. But I've bought these guys' patches and loaded it into the synth, and the synth is just so amazing, the sound that comes out of it. But Hydra synth is pretty cool as well. Let's have a listen.
This is my favorite sound right here.
Wow.
This is making me want to do this shit.
Some farty noises.
Gotta steal the bass line from Flashlight, man.
I was gonna say it sounds like a bass line, a funk bass line. Sorry, I'm not. I wasn't watching the title on the screen.
It's an amazing synth though. Like it just sounds so good. And I know it's digital, and people are against that, but meh. Most of my stuff is analog.
Well, I mean, think about what like DSP chips have done over the last 10, 20 years. Like it's gotten ridiculous.
Yeah.
And half of my modules are digital. Like they have digital chips in them doing stuff, and
oh, well, there you go.
They sound great. They sound great.
Oh, 10 out of 10. This is my favorite one. Sounds like an intro to like an alien talk show.
You can see why I want to get one.
Yeah, I definitely can see you wanting one of these.
I'm giving the finger.
I
to
would
the
love it. Oh, that's cool.
When did I start learning to play the keyboard? Okay, so I would say this is probably one of the places that I'm a little different than most producers. I started playing piano when I was 6. Went to school for it. Was seriously considering being like a concert pianist at one point, and realized, probably rightfully so, that I would not have the patience to practice for 5 or 6 hours a day. So, I went to a different direction. But I mean, I was doing competitions and stuff like that too. So, like, I can, still bust out some classical music, and I play tons of musical theater and stuff. So, most people that I watch like produce music online someplace, they're like putting notes in one at a time. And
yeah, that's very much me. I used to know all of my music theory. I used to be in a jazz band for trombone, and I just lost all that knowledge. And now that the music software has scales and chords, and you can set it up so that if you don't push the button within the right key, it just won't. It'll play the nearest note that is correct. Like, it's the way, like, you don't have to know your music theory. It is sad in a way, but then at the same time, I just totally forgot. A lot of it, went out of my head years ago because I didn't do music for so long. And then when I did start electronic music, I was making hardcore and ambient and just doing weird sounds and shit, and not really worrying about melodies and stuff. And so I also use a lot of MIDI loops and stuff. So we'll buy, like, how you can get the sample packs or whatever. You can get sample packs of MIDI. And so I'll get those, and they'll be like synthwave ones, and sort of pull them apart, because all you need is, it comes with a pad, a bass, and a lead, but you can turn that into 6 other different things. You just, move it up an octave, or get rid of all the little dots and just turn it in the up into a pad, or there's so many things you can do. It just, so I've sort of gone that way. I think it's also to cut down on time, just based on the fact that I just don't have time to make this, because
I don't have any judgment on that kind of stuff. because everybody finds the tools that they can work with.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
If you give up on it, that's what I would judge. I would be like, what the fuck? Like,
I always admit it
go
to
make
people
music,
because,
you know.
There is those musicians out there that are like, oh, you just use samples or whatever. But if I was to talk to a new person getting into electronic music, I would say, here's a bunch of samples. Here's I'll give you 4 gigabytes worth of samples. Go and have some fun and just make a song put a song together just using the samples. That way you just learn the music, you learn how to use the software. It sounds good. That's how most people are going to learn. What I don't like these days is like we had someone come on a few months ago and they said, oh, I made these really cool songs, and we're listening to the songs and we're like, wow, that sounds great. What software did you use? And he wouldn't answer. And we're like, what software did you use? What software? We finally got it out of him. And he's like, oh, I just did it on my phone. And these songs sounded really, really good, but all it was you bring up this phone app, you choose the song that you want to play, and then it just has a bunch of buttons, and you just turn the buttons on and off.
Oh, yeah.
And it has the samples already there. And you can't change anything. You can't alter anything. You can't add anything.
Essentially, it's like you're doing a remix of something.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, that's where you're starting to cross the line of, is it really your own song? No.
Yeah, but it's a good start. Like, I just think, hey, sound is free to play with now. It's free to play with. Like, there's so many free programs out there. You don't need anything for hardware nowadays to deal with that kind of stuff. And
I think
there's no excuse not to just goof around with it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think the other thing is that people forget that Prodigy, Daft Punk, and a lot of the biggest electronic bands, all of their songs are samples, are sample based. Fatboy Slim.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're all samples of other songs from the 70s.
Moby, like he had that album Play that was like the most licensed album, I think. Maybe it still is. Like every single song was like in a bunch of commercials and movies and TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like super famous, super well known, and it's all just like old records that he sampled and added a couple of things, and not much. Like
he didn't.
Kick drum,
I know he didn't add much
piano
to
chords, and it's like he didn't do much, but it's badass. It's just setting a mood. So
it's like okay, so Prodigy. Let's do like what's
a Firestarter?
Firestarter. Let's see if that has samples in it. Okay, Breakdown.
Oh, absolutely.
Making of Prodigy's Firestarter in Ableton Live. So this guy's going to redo Firestarter using the original samples.
Don't try to do it on your own.
Taken from Jungle Warfare. So there you go.
Yeah. See, it's the same. It's the amen break. Just like pitched up.
And you can already hear it. You can hear that in Firestarter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go forward a bit.
That sounded pretty dope.
Oh, mastering. Okay, let's go back a bit. Let's see where he gets some of this other
sample.
Bass line. Maybe they made the bass line themselves.
It's just a sub bass.
Here we go. Main guitar loop sample from the Breeders-SOS.
Yeah, there you go. So there's your harmony. Like that's like your main song. It's taken from another song. So again, like you can do this in like Audio Tool and BandLab and stuff like that, and it's totally free. And I don't know. I just think, you know, if you have the desire, just get something and play with sound. You know, eventually you'll start creating stuff.
There you go. He's got it. It sounds exactly like the song already.
Oh yeah.
We'll go to the end where he puts the whole song together.
That's a pretty extensive set right there. I'll bet you one of the longest parts is just figuring out the form. Like, where do all of the little sounds go? Where do all the samples go? How many measures is every little part of it?
Yeah, I want to get into this stuff, but when I see videos like this, it just feels so overwhelming to start off with.
Yeah, how many tracks does he have in there?
He's got so much stuff. He's worked it out.
Lot.
He's worked it out to the exact. All right. This is the guy that we were talking about before, State Azure.
Oh, yes.
So this is one of his live streams.
Dude, he's got like 5 times as much modular gear as I do.
I know.
I swear, he's got like he's got a hydrosynth. You can see it just off to the left.
Yes, I know. He's got a hydrosynth. I was drooling over that. He's got a Korg wave state as well. Damn you.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, so like he has a 4-hour. It's just he's just set it all up to generate its own music, and here he is in chat, just chatting, while it makes its own music.
While the machine plays itself.
While the machine plays itself.
There's got some sequences going though,
and it's amazing stuff. Here's this guy's channel. I play it at work all the time in the background.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Another one is
makes me want to fly a spaceship.
Another one is Light Bath.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Light Bath or R-Benny, R-B-N-Y. I threw him in chat. Those are both really good, with much more minimal systems too. And of course, he's got the Strymon, Big Sky reverbs and stuff like that going, and
Yeah. All right, now let's move forward like an hour and see how much it's changed. An hour and a half, let's see how much it's changed.
Probably not much.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
It's on a different bass note.
Not that it matters. It's so amazing. I could listen to it all day. Yeah.
Hydrosynth has CV ins and outs also, so...
Yes, I did see that.
You could hook that thing up to it and have your modular control it. Which I will definitely be doing at some point. Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Okay, let's move back to right at the start. Oh, it's got rain noises in there.
This guy's also got about $10,000 worth of cameras. Everything he does just looks great.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, dude, dude,
I'm always a fan
where'd
of
you get all the
flashing lights
money
anyways,
for
so-
that? Jesus.
Exactly.
Like my dude.
That is the
funny.
question. Yeah. I mean,
YouTube.
that room is like $40,000 worth of music gear.
Oh, yeah,
At
definitely. Definitely.
At least.
Anyway, he does live streams like this all the time. He does short little songs as well. Modular performance. Let's click on this. Let's see what happens. I can't remember what this is. Oh, so this is him actually playing a song.
Yeah.
Love his
He's got the key step
splitter here.
and the electron boxes.
Yeah,
there,
I've got
so
a key
they're
step.
doing
I got a key
drums
step.
and
I
sequencing and-
wish I saved the money and just went a key step pro, beat pro.
Hey,
So it's
hey,
all in
Moogs.
one.
Chat's asking, do you find that because you're a classically trained musician that your music is more intricate?
I don't know. I think my music is intricate because I listen to a lot of intricate music.
You're a product of
stuff-
what you're into.
Greek, stop
Well,
doing
I think
it.
that's another common thing I see in musicians is like they don't listen to music, and I don't get that. Like that's my big advice to people. Like go play with sound and listen to music. Like if you don't listen to stuff, what do you like nothing is created in a vacuum. Everything is made from influences.
Mm.
And if you're not indulging your influences and like listening to new shit and hearing sounds that you have never heard before,
Mandy!
what are you doing? Whatever it is, whatever the sounds happen to be, whatever your music is, you really like punk, but you've only listened to Black Flag, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Go listen to more shit, and it's
I'm with
free. Like there's no reason not to.
That's
That's
it.
how I am. I feel like I have to branch out with my music taste if I want to be an artist. Even if I don't like it, I should listen to it.
Yeah.
'Cause you
Yeah, I've
never
been
know
on a
what-
kick listening to a lot of Solar Fields, and that's kind of it ties in with like the ambient stuff that I've been doing.
Mm.
Flying Lotus.
All right. Is there anything
Yeah.
else on your channel that you want to go over? Like, so you do a lot of stuff like I do. I don't do enough of because I just don't have time, which is making stuff with Reason 11. Our usual co-host, Skull Kid, he does a lot, but he uses Fruity Loops. Most of his streams are making beats. He does a lot of
I'm familiar
Fiverr
with
commissions.
Fruity.
So, since COVID lockdown, you've been, you lost your job or something? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
No, I didn't. I'm a teacher. I'm a middle school music teacher.
Okay.
So I was teaching from home. I still am actually.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm on spring break this week, but I go back to work again starting Monday.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah, for another 8 weeks left in the school year, and I just I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm not going to see my girlfriend as much. I'm kind of at the house, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking make music and stream it and see what I can do with it. And
Is that streaming helping you cope with like being at home, stir crazy?
you know what? I am such a lazy motherfucker. If I didn't stream and make music, I would just be sitting here playing games and drinking a lot of bourbon.
See, I don't play a lot of games because if I come to the computer and sit down, I start editing or I start making music. Otherwise, I've got my Nintendo Switch and I've hardly played that lately.
Yeah.
All right, there's one
Yeah,
more
so-
thing I do want to talk to you about, and it's controversial, of course.
Uh-oh.
And that is Reason and what they have done. So Reason, I'm guessing you owned Reason Suite 11 like I did.
Yes. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, within a short period of time, they come out with a different version, and it's now a subscription service where you pay. If you own a previous version, for us, it's $100 a year. For new people, it's $20 a month. And the difference is you get every single synth that they make, because with Reason, they make most of the synths in Reason come with Reason, but there's a lot of stuff that's made by Reason Studios that you have to pay extra for.
Yeah.
Now, within Reason as well, there's also other things called rack extensions, which are third-party apps, third parties, so you buy their things as well. So what would happen with Reason Plus is that you get access to all of their instruments, everything that Reason Studios made. Now, with Radio Suite, you got Reason Suite 11, you got that as well. But since then, they've bought out the pattern mutator and the Fricton, which is like a string sort of synthesizer, and the FM algorithm, which is a really, 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 really fucking cool synth.
I love that. It's so good.
I really like these sound packs. The sound pack, the algorithm, are so fucking cool.
So I got I'm 49. I'm just gonna say it. I'm probably older than most people in your audience, if not everybody. I got my first synth when I was 14. I saved up. I got a Casio CZ5000.
Really?
Phase distortion, like FM synthesizer.
Mine was a Groovebox, the 303,
okay.
not the 505. My parents were cheap.
Those didn't exist. Keep in mind this was 1987, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know how to program. I don't go sound packs very much. Like, I've downloaded a few sample packs of like weird shit, world drums or that kind of thing. But for the most part, I don't program. So when this whole thing came out, like I tried it. Yeah, whatever. It's not really for me. Took my free month, and then I was like, whatever. But at least I could see the point behind it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all for it.
I've paid my $100 now, and so
yeah,
I am now a Reason Plus user. And most of this, when I go for sounds, I don't go to the Antidote as my first pick. I go to the sound packs as my first pick, and get out the combinator. Okay. So it's definitely changed the way that I've started to do my workflow. It's changed my workflow. Changed the way that I've done things. So
and I looked at a lot of the sound packs too, and I'm like, this is good stuff. And
they just keep bringing out good
programmers, and
these ones have come out in the last month. Some of them are done by I think Sean Murray's on YouTube. There's another YouTuber here that makes
Venus Theory. He makes
he makes ones for here as well. Yeah, I noticed, and I was like, oh, he's making packs for Reason? Jeez, how did he get into that?
You just have to apply. I don't think there's much to it. Like, you have to show them that you're not...
There he is, Venus Theory.
You don't suck.
Yep.
You said you paid $100. Is that for the year, or are you saying you bought...
For a year.
Okay, because I posted in the Discord how, like, when they introduced Reason Plus... everyone hated it because there's people that spent thousands on packs and all that stuff, and they're still getting no support, and they were kind of like, they felt like they're left in the dust.
I get
you were
that.
Gonna go that way with it, so I posted all that in there. My bad.
No, I get that, but I bought Reason Suite 11, but if I had purchased, I wanted Pattern Mutator, and I wanted Fricton. If I purchased both of those, I would have spent more than $100. So to me, it's already worth it.
Yeah, the people that already spent the money are upset over it, which I completely see why. But Reason Plus,
which is that's me,
is better.
Yeah, part of what I do though is kind of a Reason evangelist, because I like it so much that I buy the new shit and I show people on my stream. But I don't just stick to Reason Studios. I mean, I have a shit pile of plugins, rack extensions from lots of different manufacturers that I like.
Yeah,
it seems like you support the community and the artistic.
Right. I mean, like you were mentioning like Electric Panda or like Experimental Sounds, and there's a few developers on there that are just incredible, and you don't get that in every software synth has a character, which is not something I would have really believed that much before I started doing this consistent streaming and music making. So that's definitely something interesting that has come out of it.
I'm just trying to find where you're using the Panda thing. I thought it was in
Anything
the stream.
generative. If you look at like generative music with Reason, there's a few streams like that where I just do. Here, let me locate one for you.
Found one.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so here's the the electric panda or whatever it is. What are they called? Electric panda, and this can generate its own, it can make generative music. So you've got it set up to make to set off the Korg at the moment, the drum machine, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that PSQ 1684, that's very much like a modular sequencer.
Yeah, I've got to talk to you about how to... I need a basic guide of how to start using this.
Well,
it's very technical.
That one is a bitch. Yeah, that one is very technical.
Yes.
I still don't understand it 100%, but the evolution is easy.
Yes, evolution I've already gotten into. I love evolution.
Yeah.
No one has any idea what we're talking about right now, but oh well.
No.
I'm trying
but
to learn
then the fact that, so in Reason, you have devices called players that kind of perch on top of a rack and do things. Like,
like this up here.
The scales and chords one, that kind of thing.
This one is called a quad note generator, where it just generates notes, basically. And you just twist, and if you want it to vary the pattern, vary the pitch, and it'll just generate up to 4 different sequences and generate your own music. It's I really like it for world instruments like steel drums or something like that, or a sort of like a woody sort of sound. A wine glass, even.
Xylophones and marimbas and stuff.
Yeah, I've used it for that, and it sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, and you can get some cool polyrhythms and things, but then you can stack players, so you can stick a player on top of a player, and have things randomly generated, but then have it filter through the scales and chords, for example, and do some really interesting stuff with that.
It's like with my hardware, like because I don't know my music theory very well. Well, what I can do is I can pull out my MIDI keyboard, put in a MIDI player into Reason, connect it up to my Korg wave state, then add a chords and scales player to it, and now I can use my MIDI keyboard to control the Korg. And now it's all in key and playing chords and everything for me, without having to know my music theory, because I'm just no good with it anymore. It's just it's gone out the window, basically. A lot of it.
I would say the more you make music, you're still going to pick stuff up, and it's going to come back. So.
Some of it comes back, yeah. And I'm still, because I used to be a DJ, I still know about the circle of fifths and making when you DJ
that plus like scales, so that's all you need, because that's all your chords and everything else. You don't have to get super duper advanced. It's what it is. Music theory is just a language. It's a language for communicating ideas that are still already there. Even if you don't have it. You still make music, but if you're going to try to tell it to somebody or talk to how you did it or what you did, then you're screwed.
That's it.
24 Eyes asked, "What about strings like degents?"
What?
Like a gent guitar.
Yeah, noises and strings like that.
That's one place where I'm terrible at guitar. I'm just awful. And
well, you can record it in, of course.
Yeah.
You can record people playing guitar. Like if if I want a
I have plenty
guitar
of guitar
section,
player
I
friends.
go over to I'd go to Skull Kid and say, hey, can you play this guitar bit? Like in the
But I do
Daft
have
Punk
the
Nora
A
song.
list. I do have the A-list guitar instruments.
Yeah.
And there's one that's like power chords. That's really pretty cool. And it sounds convincing. Like
there's some good software guitar synths that sound exactly like guitars, or sound like very weird. Sound even better because they're this unique sound where it sounds like a guitar, but then it's like got this massive echo to it or something like that just keeps going and going and going.
Here's a little A-list electric guitarist power chords edition.
Nice.
So like it's capable. It's really samples and loops that are like cleverly manipulated. But then you've got amp controls and things like that you can set up too. So like I do a lot of not a lot, but I do some like side work making backing tracks for all kinds of things like theater stuff.
Yeah.
And like I don't have time, like you were saying you don't have time to do this and that, like when you're making music. I don't have time to hire a guitarist. Like I need to throw some chords down that sound convincingly like a guitar when you bury it in the mix with a few other things. And I can just do it all from my computer now. So I like that. It's totally cheap. And my guitar player friends are like, what are you doing? Come on, man. Whatever.
Now, I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting really, really hungry. I tried to eat before the stream, and I didn't have time, so I'm going to be rude, and I'm going to have to eat on the
Good, man.
stream.
You're good.
If that's all good. Okay, does anyone have any questions at this time?
I was going to ask...
let's get questions from chat.
Oh,
I'm going to mute so Sock can ask them, and so people don't have to listen to me eat.
So it's synthwave. I guess is synthwave in that kind of genre, like the genre you plan to stick with for a while, or are you trying to branch off to other stuff?
Some of my favorite stuff that I've done has been like I don't know, I don't even know what to call it. One of my favorite groups is Spangle. And like Spangle,
okay,
dude, if you don't know Spangle, they are some of the most amazing electronic music that you will ever hear, ever, and just sounds from another universe.
How do you spell that? I'll type it for chat.
Yeah, can you try and find it, and when I'll bring it up?
Oh, he typed it already. Nice.
In the YouTube chat, but yeah.
Also, Mandy asked before, do you know who Ugress is?
Nope.
Yeah, we had him on the show a few weeks ago. He actually has released a whole bunch of albums, and because of COVID, he was touring all around Europe and had to stop. So now he just does live streams. These live stream performances from his bedroom, and they're pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the stuff that they do. I listen to it and I'm like, where are they going? Like, it boggles the mind, like how you even imagine this music existing. Yeah. So I just, it's incredible stuff, and so I think the more kind of out there I get, I start using, odd meters and stuff, putting songs in 7 and 5 and, shit like that. I think that's to me is where I'm at my most creative. But I just really, really like making like super lush, just landscapes with sound. I love that stuff.
Has anybody from video game or anything ever approached you? Because your shit would really work with a lot of indie games, since it's a major industry now.
Nope. hasn't. I'd be willing, but yeah, it just hasn't come up yet. So I
Well, if
mean,
you're willing, I'm talking to like we said before stream. I'm talking to a lot of indie devs, like, and fuck, I could probably. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just gonna try to shill for you though.
yeah, yeah, throw my name out there. Sure.
But I got so many questions about the music. So you said, so with the music you do, and it seems like some of it is like, I guess it not creates itself, but you know what I mean. Like it generates its own song, like with that laser. How
Mhm.
everything's different. How hard is that to do? Like, obviously we went through a lot of this stuff, and it seems technical, but do you find that making those generative tracks like more difficult to do, or a little bit easier
I have not really done the generative stuff with anything that I've like released as a song.
okay.
It's more like, I don't know. It sounds super corny, but just like a meditation or something like that. Like
Oh,
it's just,
I feel you.
you know, it's just goofing around and making cool sounds. And
It's like ASMR of sorts.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry, chat. I am back. I had
just
to eat. I was dying.
bathing it around, you know.
Sorry, I missed a few things from General as well. So, okay. This was, I think, I don't know if we showed this. This was introducing Reason Plus, their video that they did on it. That is the dislike ratio. And then here is some of the comments about it. If Reason becomes subscription only, this over 15-year love story is over and I'm off to Logic completely. Well, then you're a Mac user. Fuck you. Reason EZAC 1. So I heard Ableton 11 is upping their macros to 16. Our Combinator still only has 4. Reason Exec 2. I know. Let's start a subscription service. You'll own nothing and you'll like it. That's it. You don't own anything.
Yeah, that's another issue, because a digital license means you don't own shit, really.
Yes, that could have huge potential problems. That's not good. I just hope that they still support Reason Suite owners. That stuff wasn't cheap. Well, I don't know. It was cheap for me. I just upgraded, so it only cost me like $180. It was on sale.
You get a lot more with Reason Plus, my understanding.
Yeah.
But Moog here, he said like he was more for the support of that,
dude.
You know, people that created the patches and shit too.
Reason cost me about, because I bought Record, and it cost me about $500. And I've upgraded twice since then, so that's another $400 because it's $200 each time, and then another $100 to go to Reason Plus. So yeah.
So I can see where the anger's coming from then if they drop money like that, especially the people that dropped it and then it switched like fairly like shortly after they bought.
It was a few months. It was at least a few months. Okay, as someone who has literally shoved thousands of dollars your way over a decade, please go away if you're filth. You really lost me. You really, really lost me. Moog, do you agree with me that Reason is just the start of this, though, and everybody is going to go this way?
I think so.
So if you got to go pee, then go pee. Moog, you there? Moog died.
Oh no.
Cut out. Anyway, he did link, or someone linked Schmoogle.
Spongle, yeah, that was the thing.
This may be copyright. Let's check first.
Back.
Oh, welcome back.
It is copyright, so we're just going to have the volume at half, and we're going to try and talk over the top and just have a listen to a bit of it.
But he was talking about how Spongle was, which is a weird name to me, and I love the weird name. Oh yeah, Moog. He killed the stream in Discord.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I listened to a little bit of that Spangle stuff, and I can't really place a description.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's Simon Posford, who is hallucinogen, like Goa trance, and this guy Raja Ram, who's like an Indian flute player, like mystic.
Rejoin the stream, guys. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So it's a winning combination.
I love the music video. That's so cool. Oh, one of those things.
Probably the underside of something under the sea. Which brings out one of my fears is the ocean, the deep ocean.
Thalassophobia.
Oh, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, look at that. All right, I'm gonna start going on a spurgy, tirade about the ocean. But I like this music. It's like so epic but solemn at the same time. But there's also a lot of other words I just can't think of for it.
It's these guys do a lot of acid.
Oh, I can tell. I can definitely tell.
They're looking into other dimensions and universes and shit. And
they're living in a
Hey,
reality
kitty.
that we can't
How you
even
doing?
fathom.
What you doing? Who's a furry cat? You're a furry cat.
Is this like one of your influences? Is what you were saying earlier or alluding to?
Yeah, absolutely. This is like what I aspire to, and they've got these epic, 10, 12, 15-minute long, call them what they are. Like, they're like a piece, right? Everybody's like think about the word producer is like a changed word, right? It used to be the guy who kind of pulls the strings behind the scenes of a recording. Like, should just be calling us composers, but it sounds too hoity-toity.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, even though it's the truth that you guys are producers, but yeah, composers. I mean,
All right, so let's turn this. I don't think I can turn it down anymore.
Did you hear that? Like,
what?
Still got like a groove in there too, just like just real driving at times, and
So, what are some of the other influences or favorite bands? Let's go through it. Favorite bands.
OTT.
OTT.
Yeah, he does some, like, a lot of his stuff is dub. The Queen of All Everything is like, that's like the greatest track. He started as like a dub remixer.
All right, I'm posting it in general now.
I've already got it up.
Great.
Oh wow, so you really are into some chilled out shit. I'll turn it up for a few seconds, but then I'm probably going to stop it because of copyright, guys.
Don't get sorked and get hit with copyright.
We're going to get hit with copyright. It's just not worth it. It's not.
But everybody should listen to this track because it's just so damn good.
Look at this. Copy the URL. I will put it in. There you go. Yeah.
After the stream.
You're a lot like my brother is into weird electronic. He's into this electronic music coming out of Spain at the moment. Yeah. I don't know.
Would you say there's a difference between the electronic music between the countries, or?
Kind of.
Think
is genres.
Yeah, if you're just looking at like general like styles, like say, oh, there's somebody that's doing,
German tech house.
Yeah, or anything like that, you're gonna find people all over the world who kind of all sound similar.
Yeah,
it's the details.
I've got a story that will make. Okay, so I used to be part of a producers club, and at the producers club there was this Scottish guy, right? Lived in Australia though, but he made UK hard house for a label because he was into UK hard house, and he would send it over, and it would get played in all the UK hard house clubs. Yeah. So it's sort of a bit weird like that. Electronic music has very specific genres, and there's record labels that are attached to them that are very specific with what they want. Like, you can't go to a record label. Moog, you're making my voice echo as well a bit.
Oh yeah, I think the speaker's echoing through
Or
your mic.
is that okay? Thank you. So you have like when I was making music, I made this like a minimal tech house, but then it had to be exactly the same as every other song on their label. The bass had to have the same compression, and everything had to be the same, and I got sick of it very quickly. Jarbo the Hutt, or MC Jarbo, he also used to make music for DJs and that for Beatport, and said the same thing. He just said he didn't like it just because you had to be very specific within the genre. And
if you want to make money, that's what you have to do also. You know, it's just like pop music.
Yeah.
If you want to make money as a pop artist, you have to sound like every other pop artist, because that's the way the industry, and well, it's kind of the way our brains work though too. You know, it's like having a focus group. You know, you get a bunch of people that sit around listening to music, and hey, do you like this? Do you not like this? Like, you like the stuff that you're familiar with. You don't like the stuff that you're not familiar with. So everything fucking sounds the same. If people just look at the money train and they're like, I want to be a DJ Tiesto. I want to be making, $40 million a year. Like, what do I do? Well, sound like DJ Tiesto. That's what you do. And everybody sounds the same.
That's it.
And I'm like, I have a steady job. I don't need to be a rock star. I just want to make music that I like, that I appreciate. And if other people do too, that's cool. But
I think that's what it's about.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? And then I think we're going to wrap up. Because...
oh, fuck it is.
Gone through all of it. It's getting pretty late. Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty late for everybody. Any other questions in chat? We'll give you 30 seconds. Now, Moog Lee, do you want to shill out anything or talk about what you're planning to do in upcoming events?
I'm planning on releasing a couple of albums this summer. So I'm going to do an ambient album and a synthwave album. And the ambient stuff will be the stuff that I put up on my YouTube. But the synthwave will be all new. So
that'll be cool.
Look for that around July or something like that.
That will be cool. That's basically what I make, is basically synthwave and ambient. But most people don't hear any of that because they only hear my Italio disco and synthwave parody songs that I make. So, but we're moving on. We're gonna still do a few parody songs because there's still some people that really they love it so much. Like this guy named Cog, he just loved so much being in this music video the other day that he has to be in the next one, but he has to be wearing a wig and have boobs next time because he said he was a woman, so I don't know. It's his thing. I don't know.
There you go.
No judgment here at all.
Yeah, commissions and crowdfunding is rising. Yeah, it's I think we're slowly seeing the end of big record company monopolies, and you're seeing this in all kinds of industries.
Yeah,
it's a good thing to see.
Crowdfunding and
like
raising.
the end of the grift economy, where the guys at the top,
except for subscription services.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I keep saying, like, if Reason comes out with version 12 this summer, as they've been talking, and it's not like decently groundbreaking, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping it. I'll keep it as a rack and use it in another
Whoa. So you're saying that they will have Reason Plus, and they won't just stick with Reason Plus. They'll then just stop with the subscription and make a new version as well?
No, they're going to have a new version of Reason. And you'll get that if you're a Reason Plus member.
Okay.
Or you can buy it outright, just like normal.
All right. I get you.
Right.
All right.
What everybody was yelling about was like, are they going to go to only a subscription-based thing?
Yeah, okay.
And there's still that
chalk
potential
support.
threat, you know. But I don't think so, because like, you know, professionals who use this stuff, who've got it installed on multiple machines, that, you know, they don't want to have to be connected to the internet, you know, to use their
No,
music software.
that's
that
what
kind
I
of
really
shit,
hate.
you know?
Yeah. Having to be connected to the internet to make it work. I turn that off because I've still got my key, USB key. But
You've got an ignition key.
I've got an ignition key, yes, but does it let me use it? No, it still wants to connect to the internet sometimes for the sound packs and stuff. It's weird. It works and then it doesn't. I get over it. I just leave it plugged in. I don't think there's any other questions, except for who's the cutest. Well, that's obvious. It's Mandy G. Well, anything else that we want? This was a great stream. I'm so glad that we did this. Guys, I know we have gone down in viewers. I think the channel move has done that, but I also think the fact that we're changing content. We're starting something new here. We're going to keep going down this road, guys, because I'm having more fun and finding these streams more interesting than anything else. It's been a pleasure having you on, Moog Lee. I really mean that.
Yeah, it's been fun, man.
I will say, the more you enjoy the shit you do, the more people will enjoy watching you do it because they see you're enjoying it, so they'll be into it too.
Yep.
That's what I've been noticing a lot.
You just do it. Just keep doing it. That's the best advice I could give to anybody, whether it's music, video, basketball, whatever you're into, just do it.
Making Cog bad.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. you want to make like gent elf metal, like whatever you're into, just do it, and
I'm an
somebody
MMO
will
nerd,
like
so
it.
that sounds interesting to me. Gent elf metal.
It's sung in Norwegian or something, you know.
I just started watching the new Best of the Worst on Red Letter Media, and there's a movie. It just came out 12 hours ago, and one of the movies is about little pygmy vampires that bite the ankles of people and are trying to make a master race of tall vampires so they're not midgets anymore.
That'll be my morning viewing.
Yes. Do you know there's people there's this guy that who went off at he thought he was going off at me on stream the other day. But he wasn't. He was going off at a fake EarJuice account for over 2 hours. And he really believes this. He believes that YouTube should be not monetized for anybody. No one should be monetized. But then we wouldn't have shows like that. Like, and that's what I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't get. Like, just because PPP says so... yeah, sorry guys, I didn't bring out that video today. I'll have to do it tomorrow. I totally forgot. It's because I had to edit some stuff and it didn't happen. I ended up chatting to a certain person that starts with M instead, and
Me.
I just ended up chatting to Mandy and telling her how cute she is. Do you know how cute Mandy is? Okay, no. We gotta stop doing. Okay, which song are we going out with? Which 24's what?
He has a good idea. He said, "Will he be back for maybe the album release? Like, maybe some of your musical guests, if they want to do a stream to to celebrate a release of a big project, bring them back, and then we go over it."
We can do that if you want. Moog Lee, we are in your Discord now. I am going to stay in your Discord if you don't mind.
Same here. Yeah.
Please. I'm going to start asking you about Panda stuff. And I'm going to start telling you about magic visuals. So we can
Okay.
do a swap.
I'll try to do a stream Sunday, and I'll try to do generative stuff for that.
Okay, I'll try and watch. I do stream Sundays, but I will watch after. That's fine. Try and keep it as simple and short as possible for me, so my brain doesn't explode. All right. Which song do you want to go out with, Moog? You've got 30 songs. Which one?
Okay, we can do Azathoth. That's fine. That's one of the old school tunes.
Old school tunes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got anything to say? Sock, what have you got to say for yourself?
I got one question and then I'll wrap up. But Moog Lee, was your song Samsara inspired by SCP Foundation?
No.
Because that is like okay, never mind. I won't even get to it.
I have a really hard time coming up with titles for my songs. So unless I come up with it, like Azathoth, the title came first, and then I made the song inspired by it. But most of the time, I just I don't know.
That's how I work.
Come up with something that sounds cosmic and interesting, and I don't know.
I'd just like to say that I'm not listening, and I'm now DMing Mandy and telling her how much I love her.
You're good. All right, but I will say, the future, there's going to be a show. The Tism Basement will be around. We're situating some shit right now, but it will be back next Friday, same time, unless Juice wants to move it to Sunday.
No,
whatever works for him. All right.
No.
Will be around.
I just. We need to work out what's happening with Skull Kid. Skull Kid's gone away for a week, and so I think we can say that publicly because Skull Kid said it publicly himself.
We're gonna work it out, but it'll still be around. So everybody that actually likes the show, don't worry.
Okay.
Just taking a weekend to situate it, and then we'll be back full force with a lot of new videos and bits.
Which and it'll be on the same channel?
Yeah, it'll be on the same channel.
Be on the same channel.
I should state that.
That's what we should have pointed out. Now,
yeah.
What about Hejas, everybody? Oh no, Hejas is gone. Everyone, Hejas has totally been destroyed. Yes, we ended Hejas. We didn't announce it because it was after the stream that Stretch said, where I'd noticed, I think we've all been noticing Stretch not just sleeping, but just not really being there. He's had IRL stuff. And so he just ended on a quiet note without us actually telling anybody. That's what happened. The community is still there. The channel. And I want to start building a community space. We're going with at least 2 streams on there. I want to have the SorcJuice show or the SorcJuice show over here, depending on what Skull Kid decides. I don't know. I think Skull Kid and I can work it out. I think we're both adults. His thing was to Stretch. I'm going to try and do more stuff over here that's video based as well. And if I do live streams like making music and stuff, if it's music related, it'll be on this channel. As far as the Hejas channel, look, the Hejas name will probably stay. It'll just become the Hejas community, because then that respects the fact that it was called Hejas. But the new show is called the EJ Show. It makes it simple, because there's always one person that's always there, and it's me.
Yeah.
I will see you there at the same time, just like every other week. I will see you at, 9 p.m. CST, 8 p.m. CST? Oh, the daylight savings fucks me up. I think it's 9 p.m. CST.
8 p.m. CST.
8 p.m.? I don't even know anymore.
I think so.
I don't even know anymore. But that's what's happening. Cog won. He definitely did. I mean,
yes, he did. Sorry, Juicy.
He called himself a woman. I love the fact that he's like, don't get mad. We're trying to have a conversation. Then every second word out of his mouth is just a swear word. Sorry, Moog. Now we're talking about bullshit that we shouldn't be talking about. So let's not. But do check out the video Cog as a Woman. I found that just absolutely hilarious. He said it. I didn't. He was very mad, though. Absolutely mad. He wanted me to disavow all of your sins. So everybody in chat, if you have done something bad and you are an audience member of mine, I disavow everything that you've done that is bad. All my co-hosts, I've disavow everything that you've done that is bad. And hopefully,
sub to your Patreon.
Hopefully,
you should.
Cog will respect that. Let's all join PvP crusade against the Beg Bear. Hey, Mormon Shaggy, please get a mic. I so want you on the stream one day. I want you to call in just randomly. Just do it on your phone. Don't you have earbuds with a mic? Come on stream. It'll be fun.
Don't you have some ear juice to listen?
He's probably fake ear juice. Who knows?
Yeah.
Discord on your phone.
Fake ear juice.
No
But
excuse
PvP
anymore.
did the stream the other day, and they all spurged out at this at ear juice. But the problem is that it wasn't me. I didn't even know. I turned up for the last 2 minutes to watch, and fake ear juice is threatening to flag down the stream, and I'm like, no, don't do that. I've disavowed that. Oh, it was quite hilarious. They were very, very upset about the whole thing. I will call in now. No, dude, this is not the time or place. I'm not talking to you on the show. We will talk to you on Saturday night on the EarJuice show.
You're doing something Saturday,
not a music show. So anyway, that's what's happening. The name, oh my god, the name has been changed to the EJ show. We'll be back. We're going to be doing different things, though, as well, at the same time. 24 Eyes will be my co-host on Saturday night. Nothing happening Friday. I might be doing an IRL stream.
You should do a movie stream again, if you can, like you used to.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to, but I just don't have time. There is some movies I do want to show. I do want to do an IRL stream, though. I do like those.
I'll check that shit out. Everyone should check it out.
They're
Watch
comfy.
EJ's shit this weekend.
They're just comfy. They're comfy. Supposedly they're to grift and get money, but I never get a single cent out of them. Oh, yes, no, I did. No, that's a lie. I haven't for a very long time, though. All right, Moog Lee, it has been fantastic having you on.
Likewise. It's been fun.
Awesome.
Nice talking to
Sock,
you, man.
it's been great having you as the standing co-host. Hopefully, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but hopefully it's back to normal next week.
Yes. I have high hopes.
Yes, we do. We do. Otherwise, it's going to be SorcJuice. Well, that'll be the way it is.
With my work schedule, I'll be able to at least co-host SorcJuice this late at night every other week because I'm supposed to be at work right now if I wasn't off today.
Oh dear. Well, talk to me if it's an issue. Otherwise, I'll have to find a new co-host. All right, guys. I'm going to deafen out. Have a good one. Thank you. See ya.
Me too. Good.
All right. Before playing the song, I will link his channel into the description again. Do subscribe. Do check him out. His music's really cool, guys. Yeah, but Mormon, do call in, but just not on this show. Not on a music show where we're talking about ambient music. I'm trying new things, and I'm not talking about drama on a music show anymore. Well, even though we just did. I just contradicted myself, didn't I? Whoops. Alright, I'm just playing the song and leaving. Mandy's cute! See you later, guys. Have a good one. Hot drinks! You gotta have a lemon slice. Oh, did Cog get mad?